Greetings, how's it going? Man, I tell you, it's actually not too bad out here. It's pretty nice. It was supposed to be pretty warm today, and I don't know if it's going to be as warm as it was saying, but let me tell you, this is probably one of the warmest days we've had since basically the end of October, maybe. This is really nice. I was actually really hoping to go for a drive in the Fiero, but I don't think I am today. Don't think I'm going to take a drive in the car and enjoy this beautiful weather, and this is why. This is why I hate project cars. It's one thing when you start a car from like factory. Okay, so let's say you're building something like this. You know nothing's going to be rusty. It's all going to be new. Whatever you do to it, you know you've done it. Okay? Now, if you do the same thing to an old car, then you run into the risk of broken pieces, old non-working pieces, all kinds of crazy things. On the same side of that coin, if you buy an old car that is highly modified, not only are you still working with old, potentially broken components, but then you're working with someone else's work, which could be good and it could be bad. So, let me explain what's going on back here. I know it's a lot of stuff here, there, and all of this started by not actually being back here, believe it or not. It all started inside the car. I'm still trying to figure out what I need to do with the ECU connector and the OBD2 port. I think I got to figure it out. I think the problem was I didn't have the pins fully seated in the connector, and actually I'll show you real quick as an update. I didn't realize you could pull the connector apart like that and make sure the pins are seated, and now I learned that. So, well, while I was doing that, I was waiting for some glue to dry, and I came back here and I wanted to check things. I remember starting the car up earlier, I noticed a misfire. Well, dummy me forgot to plug in the spark plug wire that goes here, cylinder 2, and so I went to go plug it in, realized I couldn't plug it in. Long story short, discovered that the wire on the car, which were these big yellow Excel wires, the inside of, the little metal clip inside the boot was melted or mashed or something. Yeah, not good. So then I'm like, okay, great. Well, I have these MSD wires from the Fox body. Yeah, I only have 4 of them, but at least I know I have 4 good wires, and I know at least I have 5 good wires that was left over. But they're all too short because the coil pack, was mounted back there. It's not at the moment. That's where it was. On a factory car, the mount's right here. I guess the reason why they don't mount it here on the Fieros when they do these swaps is because it interferes with this. It will hit right here, and that's a problem. So they mounted it back there, which was also a problem, and I don't like that. So I've been pondering away, and I think I can pretty much do it like this. I have this little piece of aluminum here. Just put it there like that, get a spacer for that top piece up there, and cut it, and that should be good to go. I should be able to mount it right there, and that will work just fine. Now, none of that is an issue. That's all fine, other than having to extend a couple wires and whatnot. That's not the issue. The issue is with the coil packs themselves. So I thought these were aftermarket performance coil packs, generally because aftermarket stuff's red, because red and race car, and that's just how they do things. So I thought these were like cheap, like Summit Racing ones or whatever. But upon closer examination, I realized these were neither. And these were simply probably older factory coil packs that they painted red. As you can see, the horrible, horrible paint. And yeah, so no good. Now, that's not a big deal at all, other than they look awful. The big problem here is, I realized, you turn the whole thing around, what do you see here? Oh, there's a split right there. There's a split right there. This one's good. It's starting to split right there. These two are split. And I wonder if this is what's been happening, why the car has been running like crap. It's because of these. And it could be also other things, but yeah, so not only are my coils pretty much all goofed, weren't even aftermarket ones to begin with. So yeah, needless to say, I'm just gonna have to get a new set of coil packs. I'll probably just get the ZZ Performance coils. They seem like they do fine. Looks like there's really no better offerings for this car, this platform, than those. They seem to offer the highest output coil at the same price as the others. Where they actually put out that power, I don't know, but they're the most attractive looking coils, and they're the cheapest, or on par with MSD, and they look nicer, and they claim to have higher voltage. So I guess I'm gonna have to go with them. This is why I hate project cars, because I'm sure the guy I bought it from had no clue that those were like that, or that happened during my ownership. But it looks like they have been like that for a while. But I can still use everything now just to get everything mounted up. I've actually been trying to remove these from the ICM, which this is all new to me. I never realized that these plug into this. The ICM on this is integrated in the coils. On the Fords, it's usually a separate piece that's mounted somewhere. But this is all, they all kind of clip onto the ICM on this car. Interesting. Which is nice in a way because it does keep everything compact. It keeps everything in one space. I get why they did it. I'm just not used to it. So I just need to get these off. All the bolts are kind of like nasty and stripped, and I only got like one loose. I had to like spray it with WD-40, and hopefully I can get these loose. So just one moment. Well, my luck, just my luck. So I went from needing to spend $120 or so for 3 coil packs to now I'm gonna have to buy 3 coil packs, a new ignition control module, and the bottom mounting plate, because I cannot get any of this separated. Broke a bolt there trying to remove it. The heads of all the other bolts are rounded out. I cannot get them loose. I tried drilling them out and broke 3 drill bits. I don't even know what's going on here. In the process of drilling, one of the coil packs cracked even more right there, like big old crack right on the side of it. So these were so fragile to begin with, and that's so annoying because this bottom plate here, this piece here, and these 3, even though they all work together, they're all separate pieces, and they're actually kind of expensive. I thought these engines were cheap. Coil packs for the Mustang, for the Cobra, are like $100 new, and it's like, you know what, $50 to $100 for a control module. From just searching, these are $120 for 3 of these. Depending on where you get this, and if you get like OEM quality, which I would prefer, you know, these are anywhere from $50 to over $100. And then this bottom plate is anywhere, excuse me, $15 to $30 depending on where you get it. So I mean, right here, just for coil packs, you got over $200. Maybe you can do it for about $200. Now I see why people go to junkyards, but I'm not the kind of guy who's gonna go pick junkyard parts all day, because you just don't know. You have no guarantee. I'd rather spend the extra money and get something, at least if I know it don't work, I could take it back or yell at someone for it or something. Dude, that's so disappointing. Really is. I have a tea and I have coffee. I need a beer now. Jeez. I tell you, man, it's always something with these cars. They don't call them project cars for nothing. But the good thing is, if I mount that here, it'll keep the coil packs close like it is from the factory, which, you know, like I said, is over there. and I'll be able to get away with these shorter MSD wires, which would work a hell of a lot better. The only thing I need to do is source 2 more of these, which thankfully you can buy individually off Summit Racing. So that's what I'm gonna do. Unfortunately, since I've discovered this and messed up the coils, I'm not gonna be able to drive the car until I get this figured out. So I guess I'm gonna have to bite the bullet and go ahead and order this stuff, and while I'm waiting for it to come in, I can get the bracket made. And I know I have to extend one of the harnesses. Here, let me show you, because it's not long enough to go over. So you got, oh man, I don't even know what I did with it. Where did I put it? Oh, yeah, you got this piece here. I forgot, I just kind of set it there. This is what goes into the ignition control module, and honestly, this is nasty too. I don't know if I can get a new one of these or not. Anywho, this plugs in the ignition control module, and it was all supposed to be kept over here, so the harness is not very long. The other side of this connector doesn't go very far, so I have to extend all of these wires, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, that's not a big deal. Extend 6 wires. But then, you know, like the plug will go here. I'll run everything through a loom like that. It'll go, you know, it'll go right there. It'll go under the supercharger snout and back over where it's supposed to go and plug back in, just like that. Factory. Look nice, neat, clean. Coil pack here, short runs for the wires. That should work a hell of a lot better. That'll be it for that for now until I change things. Which actually, this GM ignition setup's pretty solid from my understanding. I don't know. I guess it's the same thing, kind of like the later Ford EDIS systems. I mean, they were actually really solid, and you didn't really need to change them for performance stuff. They were pretty good. Well, I just want to kind of give a little update here on the Fiero, since I've made these discoveries, and kind of wish I didn't now, because now I gotta spend money. Anyway, that's gonna be it for this video. I'll update the Fiero as we go along here, of course. So if you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. Share with everyone you know if you want to see more content like this and you haven't already. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Keep a lookout for the next true car enthusiast video.